Hello everyone and welcome to the decks of the weekend, my weekly video where I go over the decks that caught my attention the most over the weekend. Before starting and talking about Modern and Magic, I want to open a small window about my success from yesterday. I competed in my first ever Flesh and Blood Pro Quest, which is basically the equivalent of a Pro Tour qualifier of Magic back in the days, directly inviting into the Pro Tour. It was only 19 players. The competitive system is there. There's definitely less players, but the path is similar to old Magic. I am super happy to have won already my invite to the pit in London next year, and I will share some of more of this game. In my platforms next week. I'll have a Flesh and Blood intro video to how to explain the game on the Mengu's Workshop account. But on this one, the Magic will remain the main one. But I want to share my success, as is something I'm very proud of. But yeah, so outside of that, of course, Magic is my top game and my game to create content about. The deck I have in front of me is Band Control, that True Hero won a 80 people RCQ yesterday, and it's kind of crazy, right? He had to win an 80 people RCQ to qualify to a 1,500 people qualifier. But anyway, that's obviously the multitude of players that play these two different games is much different. All right, but why is this deck so different? What does this deck do? Okay, so this is a control deck. We have basically 18 lands, but there's 7 more here. There's Orm Chant, 4 Orm's Chant. Now, why would Orm Chant be a good modern card in a control deck? Because obviously when you read Orm Chant, you think this is extremely old style of Magic, this is not card, this is card disadvantage. You read this card, it's card disadvantage, not good. This is not something I would ever think playable in a control deck. But the way these control decks are now shaped is you just play Ring. And if you go Ring, and you fork them, right, when you play Ring, and then you untap, and then you draw 3 in the meanwhile, and you draw Orm's Chant. What happens is that you will just Orm's Chant in their upkeep, and then you untap, and you tap Ring, and you draw 3. And you just, in the meanwhile, alongside the Orm's Chant, maybe you played another Planeswalker, which is going to untap, because Orm's Chant doesn't, with the kicker, doesn't let your opponent attack. So actually, Orm's Chant plays extremely well with Ring, because it continues the Ring plan of, you play Ring, fog you, untap, fog you with Orm's Chant. You also can cast spells. Play maybe another Ring or maybe another Orm's Chant. So you just lock your opponent out of the game because you have 8 rings. And then you can go Narset Days Undoing, for example. Or you can also go without Narset, Days Undoing in your upkeep Orm's Chant. I think that's another play that can happen. Also you have Solitude, so always happy to pitch to play White Pitch. So this is an interesting thing. Again, I haven't played this deck yet, but I plan to play it tomorrow for stream, so it'll be up on my channel next. But I definitely understand the reasoning behind playing this, and I will look forward to play it tomorrow. So Cosmic Rebirth is the reason to splash green. Well, you also have a Prismatic Ending and also a Black Collar. Now, splashing Zagoth Triumph is strange because you don't have a Leyline Binding, but the reason why you splash Zagoth Triumph is that so that your Prismatic Ending can exile the One Ring, which otherwise you have no answers for. And that's definitely a way I remember I was playing my Boros deck against the control deck. Well, it didn't have Orm's Chant, and the way you beat the control deck is just by playing Ring, because they have very few ways of answering it except of the Force of Negations. But yeah, so this is, there's no win conditions, so, it's gonna be, you attack down with Solitude, Subtlety, and Nakahira, but you have Days Undoing, so if they kill them, you can shuffle them in. And eventually you win the game. In paper, maybe a little bit harder, but True Hero has made it work. He went undefeated yesterday. He also finished 9th in one of the MTGO challenges with this deck. So this is definitely something that I am excited with, and maybe if you're a control player, it's something you may like. Let's move on and go to another format where last weekend there was a very large event in France of Duel Commander, over 250 players. And there was also a Creator Showdown, which I played in. I top hated. The video will of that video of those gameplay will be out on my channel soon. But the deck that went undefeated, that won the tournament, is these Esper Anima 2 by Todd Anderson. He's in for a back-to-back 6-0 at these Creator Showdowns with various formats. And here he got the job done with this Planeswalker, which can be our commander. It's a card advantage engine, but mostly the deck. So you know how like lots of commanders deck just rely around the commander. Here I think it's just like a Esper deck with, of course, tons of good cards. But the main plan is the Reanimator. So you have all the, basically, you look at this deck, it's like every card that's legal in Cube Draft. It's like you do a sealed deck with the whole Cube Draft. You have all of the unfair strategies. You have Flash, Show and Tell, as well as, of course, as I mentioned, Reanimator. Your plan is to reanimate these banned cards. This card, actually, I've never seen it before. When it comes into play, you draw 3 cards. This is definitely something very strong to reanimate. You have all the 3 overlords. You have the overlords of the Flood Pit, the overlord of the Miss Moons, and oh no, I guess there is not the black one. I thought there was. Did I miss it? No. Alright, I swear I thought it was. There's another new card that's featuring in a lot of decks, also in Legacy, by the way. Seeing it playing lots in Legacy, this card, and in various commander decks. Metamorphosis Fanatic. This is a 6-mana 4/4 lifelink that reanimates a thing and gives them lifelink, but it has a very powerful ability to miracle too. And with Anima 2, you draw a card and then you put a card from your hand on top of your library. So this Anima 2 is very strong with the miracle cards. I did not play against Todd. I lost to Piegonti. We were playing a Jeskai Aragorn mirror match. And to Felia. You will, again, see the video when it comes out. Yeah, this is definitely a format that is taking my attention. There is a very large event in Toulouse, in France, at the end of, or she said the beginning of November. It's almost capping at 800 people. There's a Black Lotus prize. I'm super excited for that. I have decided to play without perfect sleeves for the first time in my life. I don't know if you've ever played Commander, but it is bad. It is very difficult to shuffle properly a deck with undercard and double sleeved. So that's my main concern. And my second concern will be to damage my dual lands, but I think first I will bring the white border dual lands to France to play without perfect sleeves. But yeah, this is definitely the deck I want to shout out, as this is not something I had in mind, because I've been following this format a bunch, and there's like the Squee and Slimefoot, there's Aragorn, there's Felia, there's Yoshimaru, and there was Tamio, but they banned it. There was not like too much outside of that was like winning a lot. So seeing a new deck doing well, for me, it's exciting, because I actually never really read this card, and when I read it, it doesn't strike me as very powerful. So yeah, it's a Planeswalker, but it doesn't even do card advantage when you play it. So I'm not reading this card and it's like broken, It's not like Tamio or Aragorn, where you read it and you like see the power. This is more like it's Esper, and we need some Esper cards. So people play Tivit as their Esper commander. Here it's just in the deck instead. All right, let's finish this up. Let's wrap this up with Pauper. As always, we're playing a lot of Pauper in the Mengu's workshop. Later today, there will be a very fun video between me and Tommy, so definitely check it out when it comes out in a few hours. But the deck I wanted to show you is something that I really enjoy, and something that I will definitely bring on the channel soon. It is Glint Blade. I mean, what's the blade? It's Scything Blade. And the Glint is, of course, Glint Hawk and Korskai Fisher, which pick up all of the value. You have 8 Inspector, Omen of the Dead, Titan Blade Lambas, and you have this new card, Refurbished Familiar, which, when this card came out, it felt like it's the strongest card I ever made. The reality is that Grixis Affinity is fine. It's in the meta game. This card made it better, but it's, as always, for Dust to Dust and all the other Artifact Haze, Gorilla Shaman, etc. are looming over it. But Refurbished Familiar is definitely good in this deck, since well, it may not cost 1 all the time, like in Affinity, but you have like the 8 clues from Novice Inspector, Blade Alemba, so all these things just still sits in play, and then of course you have a couple of lands. You don't want to play too many. You only have 4. You don't want to play too many. I guess you have 6. That was also Gold My Bridge. Because, you know, when your opponent blows up your land, it's always terrible. But even casting 2 or 3 mana for this one is decent, and late game is always going to be 1. So this is a cool deck that I'll be playing. Trespassing Curse is indeed for the combo deck, the 2/2, what's it called, the Brewskill combo deck. And lots of other powerful cards like Artemisar and Snuff Out. So the sideboard is very good in this deck. The main deck is fine. The main deck is fine. New card is also Threaten Charm. That's gonna be it for the deck of the weekend. I'll be not doing deck of the weekend next week because I'll be going to Vegas on Friday. I'll be staying there many days, and then I'll be playing the Limited Open. As always on this channel, we'll have 1 video a day. Also, I'm only missing 20 subscribers right now to reach 50,000. So, you know, if you watch this video and still not a subscriber, you can help reach that goal very quickly. And yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you had a great week, great day.